I mean, I noticed like we spend a lot of our time creating or participating in conflict, and the conflict arises predominantly from your mind. Um, I have so many topics that are in correlation to what I'm talking about. So, anyways, it's almost like we thrive and survive and survive in conflict. I know that sounds strange, but it's really hard for people to just accept things as they are. You know what I mean? Like to truly accept what's happening around them right now without any resistance, to truly accept themselves as they are without resistance, to truly accept anything that enters your experience without any resistance. So, and we spend so much of our time fighting. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. So, like, for me, like, I've kind of entered this place, and I don't know how long I'm going to be exploring this particular place that I've entered, but I've just kind of been very accepting of everything, everyone as it is, without any resistance. No resistance whatsoever. No conflict, no drama. I mean, I've caught myself resisting because the mind resists what's happening, because it wants to control, because it thrives in drama. And I've noticed myself when I am about to enter that state, and then I just kind of like withdraw from it, and then just kind of realize what's happening and how I'm allowing my mind to participate in conflict. It doesn't have to be that way. I think because we've predominantly been conditioned to navigate through our mind predominantly, you know, it's hard to rewire yourself or reprogram yourself to be a different way. You know what I mean? And if you look at it like TV, media, you know, like for instance, like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, television in general, they just thrive off of drama and conflict. You know, even like a football game, you have two conflicting teams, and, you know, you have like left side and right side, and they're just like battling it out. Like, I want my team to win. I want my team to win. My team is better. My team is better. Instead of just kind of like putting all this conflict and drama and tension aside and just allowing things to be. You know, I don't know if that made sense. I don't know if I'm driving my point home. But yeah, like a lot of the like media that circulates around us predominantly now, they really do like push drama and conflict in your face. It's really hard to get away from it. It's almost like they want to keep you on that particular frequency, you know, so that you're at battle with yourself and battle with each other, you know. Like at first it was, you know, I feel like and the mind is addicted to like knowledge, to consuming it, to like trying to figure things out. But every time you ask a question, you get an answer, then you ask another question, and then you need to seek another answer, and it just goes on and on and on, infinitum, you know what I mean? And it's just so exhausting. Have you ever thought about it? So now I just don't really, don't get me wrong, I think I'm highly sensitive to, how do I say? I'm highly sensitive to, uh, I can't think of the word. Um, I can't think of the word. I just can't think of it. I was thinking about it today, and it came to me so clearly, but now that I'm in front of this camera, I just can't think of the word. I'm highly sensitive to not noble actions. So, you know, whenever I can sense, and it's a feeling, that something is not in alignment, or for instance, someone's words don't align with their actions and something is askew, I'm highly sensitive to these things. So in that case, if something, doesn't really line up, I'm going to question it. But overall, aside from that, I just feel like everyone just is, and everyone is doing the best that they know how, and there doesn't really have to be drama or conflict. We can easily utilize that energy to actually communicate with each other in an amicable way, instead of like constantly at war with each other or constantly at war with ourselves. And things are always changing, and so I just feel like, you know, your resistance to the change is another thing that causes drama and conflict. Instead of resisting change, just kind of go into it and move through it. Hey, I don't know if this video is even making sense. I was trying to make a point. I have no idea if I made a point. I know the first point was how we are highly addicted to thoughts, highly addicted to the story that our mind wants us to believe. And our mind thrives on conflict and chaos. And I think we can move beyond that. The more we practice self mastery practices, you know what I mean? And also, like, people are the way they are. I notice, and this is in correlation to my hurt people video. People who have a very unstable mind, or they have little to no mastery over themselves, will create a lot of conflict and drama and confusion. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if someone has mastered themselves to some degree, they will not go out of their way to create drama, conflict, or confusion. It will be very clear, and very effortless, you know? So, yeah, I mean, usually when I come across someone who is creating a lot of tension and chaos and problems, and they have an overactive mind, I can see that, they have little to no self-mastery. And a lot of the things that they're trying to tell me is not applicable to me, but more so applicable to them. So usually, like, people that haven't mastered themselves to some extent have a tendency to project their shit onto you, and it's nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? They project it on you, and then they try to, like, guilt trip you so that they can control the situation and control you. But if you have mastered yourself, you'll see through these games, and you'll see through this drama and the conflict, and you'll retract, and just kind of limit your participation. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if I made sense. I just know that we can definitely move beyond our minds into our heart, into our intuition, and we can really, really thrive in situations that have little to no drama or conflict. And it's weird because I think 90% of the population hasn't reached that level or degree of consciousness or awareness yet, so they're really highly actively participating in these things. And I mean, where your attention goes, energy flows. So until people make the shift and until people wake up, I guess that's the kind of world we're going to, like, create. You know what I mean? Because it is collective. We are all collectively here. We have all chosen to be here to create this, And in the same vein, on a different chord, I feel like it's necessary to be here so that you can have the appropriate amount of pressure to kind of, like, push you to move beyond a particular state. Like, so say you were stuck in a particular dimension of life and there was no pressure to propel you, or no, like, things that gave you opportunities to break beyond this particular dimension. You'd stay in place, right? But if you enter this particular realm, this earth realm, and you're surrounded with all these pressures and all these like opportunities to grow and, you know, expand, you know, you're more likely to kind of like open up. So we are actually, you know, it seems bad, but it's good because we're getting the pressure and the elements that we need in order to blossom and bloom and grow. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. 16 minutes. Woo! If you've gotten this far, I thank you for your time, for your patience, and for watching. If you learned something cool, if you didn't, that's cool too. Blessings to one and all. Amen.